So now we're going to be continuing with the design here. We're going to be building the feature section. First of all, let's give ourselves a bit more space. I'm just going to drag the window here down a bit. And yeah, before we actually start working on the feature section, what I would like to do is I would like to go here to the navbar. I would like to copy it and make it a component, which is something forgot last time. And here, Control-Shift-R, which is the shortcut to paste and replace. Yeah, so now we can just make this a component, copy it, and go back to designs. Control-Shift-R again to replace it with a component. And whenever we would need something to repeat again, we would make it a component. For example, I think it's a good idea to take this banner and make it into a component. So again, this would be navbar. Or navbars probably, since we will have some variations here. And here we would have another one for banners. Control-Shift-R again, make a component, copy it, go back to designs, and Control-Shift-R, the same process. Very simple. Now anything that we would want to make a component here, yeah, probably this part, this element here. I'm just going to copy one at random. Let's just take this one, go into components, and this one will be user reveal, user preview, whatever you want to say. Let's just say user preview or showcase. I think that's more descriptive, showcase. Or actually testimonies. Here, I think is the spelling. And let's just Control-Shift-R here, copy it, not actually copy it, first make the component, then copy it, go back to designs, Control-Shift-R here, let's duplicate it, and let's just change the names here, right? So let's just change the names, and let's change, I think better if we change this to here. So first let's go ahead and change all the images, but actually here, let's change the name 1 2 3 again. Let's bring this in. It's Rachel K. So now you wanna take this. And the reason I'm doing this now, it might seem overkill, but in larger projects and in real life projects, that's something you would consider doing, because it would make your life much easier in the long term. Like we're gonna be reusing this component again and again. So if we if we can just create it once and use different variations of it, then the design process will become instantly easier. So this is Mohammed Rajesh. Then finally, let's go over to the testimonies here, and just delete the last testimony. Obviously, now you would want to change the images. So go to plugins, Unsplash, and yeah, and let Unsplash load here. They're gonna search for person as we did previously. So David Jones, this is the one. Here, Rachel K. Gonna use the same images pretty much. Then this image right here, James Fletcher, is around. First of all, this is here, and if we scroll a bit down here, James Fletcher. Okay, that's great. So now we have everything componentized here. Let's make these components to make our components in this case. Yeah, so we're just gonna continue. You can make like this section for the components here, but I think that's a bit overkill, especially considering we might not use display in our video again in the whole website. Like if there at some points we need it, it's very easy to just duplicate it and just make a component out of it. But for now, it's overkill, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the new feature section. We're going to duplicate the headline here. And we're going to do the same thing here. So using the same font and everything, you have to be consistent. I'm going to write a different sorry, I'm gonna write a different headline, and we're gonna make this hard content. We're gonna make it a bit wider, and we're gonna take the part where it says digital state, and we're gonna make it into our accent. Uh, then we're gonna continue with that, and we're gonna give it the purple color. And I think we can give some space here, but that would be too long considering this is at its current width. Again, we would give it a totally unique sub-headline description, and since we already did that, I can just paste it in here. It's fine. I hope you understand the process, why we do this. Sorry. Why we do this and why we need a sub-headline or headline. So I'm just gonna copy and paste here just to save some time. Now we'll need some cards here, card elements. And they'll be very simple. First, what are the features that we are offering? So digital assets discovery. So that's one of the features the brand is offering. So if we say that, let's actually make this into a bold 16. Then we're going to write a description for it, right? So locate in catalog all your online accounts from streaming services to bank logins. So this is the feature. Logins here. Catalog here. Okay. Then we're going to make this a bit smaller at 14 here. 14 regular. I'm going to give this a gray color. Let's now take it inwards, and since it's a card, we're going to left align it. Okay. By the way, everything in the components here should be using the variables. There seems to be, yeah, I know. Oh, it's talking about this gradient. So I think it's better to just have it as a variable either way. We're gonna call this BTN icon grad, or grade for gradient BTN icon grad. And I think that's enough to have here. Okay. Now let's go back to the design, and obviously here too everything should be a component. It's black and I don't know. Okay, here this should be gray 300. Okay, great. So then we're gonna have an arrow, an indicator arrow here. It's very simple to create arrows in Figma actually. Let's just shift and L, right? So if we click L on the keyword, here we would have an arrow, a line, and if we click Shift L, it would turn to an arrow. You can see the bottom like bar here. You can see when I click L, it's a line. When I click Shift L, it's an arrow. Very simple. Now we want our arrow to be significantly smaller, so 25 pixel width. We're gonna also have it at an angle here, around minus 45. Maybe 45. Maybe 45, a bit too steep. Around 23, I think would be nice. Then let's have the rounded corners here. Let's just adjust it a bit here. Okay, maybe we decrease the line height. I think 2 is actually fine. And this will simply be our arrow. Shift A, put it in a frame. The frame should be a circle, so it should be resistance 36, by 36. Central line this one, no padding at all. And give it a fill, a white fill here. And a stroke. And we're gonna make that a circle. Very simple. Here a very simple arrow, which actually we might even consider making into a component here. But for now, let's just leave it in, and if we need it again, we'll make it a component. So this will be the call to action for the card here. Let's just take these two, auto spacing and central alignment, obviously. Then we're gonna fold this the header of this section, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna be calling this the content. We're gonna left align everything. We're gonna give it smaller gap around 16 pixels, I think. And I think that's fine here. Now, the final thing we need is an image here. So I'm just going to drag a rectangle here for now. Then let's just take this rectangle, call it the image. Here, Shift A. We can central line it actually, but there's no need. This should fill the container. Then it doesn't actually need to fill the container, but I think it's better we have it like that. Then let's actually give some padding around 16 by 16, which is very consistent with what we've been doing so far. Let's give it a white fill, a stroke, gray one, some core radius 8 pixels, and here we're gonna keep in with the style here, and we're gonna give this 6 because the inner corner radius should be smaller. The gap now should be 24, nothing really too big. Just gonna call it a feature. Now, obviously, it would make much more sense when we add the image. So, since this is like digital asset discovery, uh, let's just search for it and see what comes here. Okay, I had an image for it. Maybe security. Something that would bring up better results here. I had an image in mind here. This is the image. Okay, and notice here we're not gonna be using this image directly. We're gonna be adjusting it a bit here, just to fit the style that we want. Uh, okay. Let's just okay, spin. So let's just make this a bit wider. Okay, great. Now, how are we gonna adjust this? Obviously, you see, like our whole website is built on this blue color, and suddenly this comes in. Obviously, here these are not as vibrant, but this comes in and make it so vibrant and red and green. You don't want that. So the easiest way out of this would be just to give it some editing. So let's just take this. First of all, we don't need the saturation at all. Second of all, let's make this 100. So it covers it fully. And we're gonna make it into, what are we using actually? Our brand colors here. Let's use this brand color. Balls here and here. Oh, we're gonna drag it down. This will have this cool fading effect here. Around right here. We don't want this to be standing out as that. So here I think this is good enough. Let's just add some accent to it just to make the image blend with the design. Okay, so you have to make sure your assets blend with with your design. So obviously there isn't a way to take this part only and make it into a variable, unfortunately. So we're gonna have this. We're gonna use this all throughout here. And it's gonna be just gonna be here. Actually, we can make it a variable. Okay, so this one should be the pattern. Okay. Okay, I mistakenly changed that. So let's make this black only. Uh, yeah, we can leave it as it is. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Maybe that's something Figma would fix in the future. But for now, we can just move on here. Yeah. So we have this card, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy it, go to components again, and what we've been doing so far, just duplicate it, bring it here, features card, and I'm just gonna call this cards, Control Shift R here, and this is gonna be a features card. So let's just say card, not like that. Just say card here, and create a component out of it. Let's just copy this card here, Control Shift R here, paste it in. Very nice. So we're gonna duplicate it 2 times. Let's take everything here, Shift A, 24 gap, central alignment, and these are the 3 cards, right? Now I'm just gonna write out what those cards represent here. Uh, and I'm just gonna copy and paste these here. Family guide. And notice here how these have different heights because this has more text. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select everything and make its height field container, just to make it consistent here. And this would be the features. And yeah, so we're almost done. We just need to change the images. I'm gonna go back to Unsplash. Again, if you haven't installed Unsplash, just do so. So planning. Let's just search for planning. And here's the image right away. Okay, great. Here we'll need another image, this time for family guide. Hopefully we can find good image for this too. Okay, maybe family safety. I probably misspelled that. Family planning, maybe. Uh, okay, so you don't really have to struggle this much to find it. I just wanted to show you where you would have to scroll on Unsplash to find it. So I think we can use this image here, right here. I think I have a better image though. Let's just copy it and control. Okay, we can't really. Let's use this actually. Let's use this. So the images should not be something like clearly obvious in regards to this text, right? The image should be describing it with some connection, like digital asset discovery. Uh, and here, this is the best image I could find here on Unsplash. Planning, obviously, family guide, obviously. So now we just have to take everything here and group it for the 8 pixel again. Stay consistent. And from here, 96. So today we learned so much here, especially about how to use assets like images, and you have to make them fit with the style of your design. So now we have this features section. Let's just collapse everything here and move it down below the video section. And let's just take this, make it smaller here. And yeah, we are having good progress. All these 3 sections remaining. The testimonial sort of, the pricing and the footer. So we're gonna be continuing with the design with those sections. For now though, I think that's enough for today.